The alien woman trembled and whispered, "Human, I carry the future of your kind." And his response shook the stars. The universe had gone quiet. Captain Elias Ward drifted through the wreckage field that used to be the Terran Expeditionary Fleet. His ship, the Aurora's Fall, was the last surviving vessel after the battle at the Kepler Rift. For 3 days, he'd sent distress signals into the void, and for 3 days, no one had answered. Now, only static replied to his desperate hails. He was alone, or so he thought. The sensors picked up movement at the edge of the debris belt. A life pod, small and nearly out of power, tumbling through the dark. Its beacon was faint, almost unreadable, but one code fragment made his heart skip. It wasn't Terran. It was Xylenian, the species humanity had fought for nearly a decade. Elias cursed under his breath. "You've got to be kidding me." The war between humans and Xylenians had ended in blood and radiation, each side pushing the other to extinction. Seeing one alive now felt impossible. Still, his moral instinct kicked in. He guided the ship toward the drifting pod and locked onto it with a tractor beam. When it docked, he armed himself just in case and opened the hatch. A figure slumped out of the pod and collapsed onto the deck. She was tall and slender, her pale skin faintly iridescent, veins glowing faint blue beneath the surface. Her hair shimmered like silver threads, and her breathing came shallow and broken. A Xylenian female. Elias aimed his blaster but hesitated. She was barely conscious, whispering something in her language. The translator implant in his ear clicked and processed her words into Terran speech. "Please help." He lowered the weapon and knelt beside her. "You're lucky I'm not in a mood to kill." Her lips curved faintly. "No. I'm lucky you're still human." Part 2. The Enemy's Eyes. He carried her to the medbay and connected her to the ship's biosustainer. The diagnostics were strange. Her DNA carried strands eerily close to human. Too close. When she awoke hours later, she flinched at the sight of him. "You saved me," she said softly. "I didn't do it for you," he replied. "I just don't like corpses on my deck." "Your kind still hides mercy behind anger." She smiled weakly. "I'm Lysera of the Xylenian Corps." Elias Ward, Terran Fleet. Or what's left of it. "You fought at Kepler Rift," she said, eyes distant. "I saw your ships fall." He crossed his arms. "And your people made sure of that." Lysera turned away. "We both lost everything." Days passed. The ship limped through the void, its power reserves dwindling. Elias rationed food and oxygen, and Lysera helped recalibrate systems with alien precision. She spoke little, always watching him with eyes full of both fear and wonder. One evening, as the starlight bled through the viewport, she whispered, "Your people were never our enemy." Elias frowned. "Could have fooled me." "It was not war we wanted," she said. "It was survival. Your species reached into our systems, mined our worlds, broke our skies. We only fought to live." He stared at her, torn between anger and something deeper, guilt. He'd seen what humanity's greed had done, even before the war began. Still, her presence unsettled him. The way her voice lingered in the air, the way her gaze softened when she spoke his name, it felt almost human. Part 3. The Impossible Revelation. A week later, the Aurora's fall crossed into the empty region between galaxies, the silent corridor. Sensors went dead. Space itself felt wrong. Lysera grew anxious. "This place, it isn't natural." "You know it?" Elias asked. She nodded slowly. "Our elders called it the Veil. It was where our creators vanished. We were never meant to enter." Before he could reply, alarms blared. The ship trembled. A rift opened ahead, twisting space like glass. Something reached out, a gravity pulse pulling them in. They barely stabilized the reactor before impact. When the ship steadied, the stars had changed. Outside the viewport hung a colossal structure, a black sphere the size of a moon, surrounded by rings of light. Elias stared in awe. What the hell is that? Lysera's voice trembled. The Origin Vault. It shouldn't exist anymore. What's inside? Truth, she whispered. They took a shuttle down to the sphere's surface. Inside, corridors of shimmering crystal hummed with living energy. Glyphs on the walls glowed as they passed, reacting to Lysera's touch. Elias followed, uneasy. You've been here before? No, she said. But it remembers me. In the central chamber, they found a stasis cradle. Within it floated a sphere of light pulsing like a heartbeat. Lysera stepped forward and pressed her palm against it. The sphere responded, merging tendrils of light into her chest. She gasped, collapsing to her knees. Elias caught her as her body glowed from within. When the light faded, she looked at him, tears glistening in her eyes. Human, she whispered, voice shaking. My body holds what remains of your species. Elias froze. What did you just say? The vault preserved the genetic memory of both our kinds, human and Xylenian. The war was meant to end us both, but the vault fused the last remnants together within me. That's not possible. She reached for his hand, guiding it to her abdomen. A faint pulse throbbed there, warm, rhythmic. It has begun. The hybrid seed is alive. 9 cells, 9 embryos born of 2 species. Elias pulled back, eyes wide. You're saying... I carry them, Elias. The future of your kind. Of mine. Together. Part 4. The Weight of Creation. The revelation shattered every wall Elias had built around his soul. He paced the chamber, shaking his head. You can't expect me to believe this. Lysera's voice trembled. You saw the light. You felt it. It chose me, us. I'm a soldier, not some chosen savior. Then stop being a soldier, she said, stepping closer. Be human again. He stared at her, at the alien woman who should have been his enemy, but now carried something that might unite 2 extinct civilizations. He wanted to deny it, to call it impossible, but deep down, something inside him already knew it was true. The vault's AI awakened then, a voice echoing in the chamber. The war destroyed what was, but creation demands balance. The seed must survive, or the cosmos will forget what it means to be alive. Elias swallowed hard. What happens if it doesn't? Entropy wins. Conscious life fades from this quadrant within 3 generations. Lysera gripped his hand. They will hunt us for this. Both factions that remain, human warlords, Xylenian zealots, they will see it as blasphemy. Then we run, Elias said quietly. We find a place where the future can live. Part 5. The Chase. They returned to the Aurora's fall, only to find a Dominion frigate closing fast, one of the last surviving Xylenian warships. Its commander demanded surrender. Lysera, a voice thundered through comms. You defied the core. You stole our future. Lysera stood tall. No, I saved it. Elias fired up the engines. The crippled ship groaned under strain, but it moved. Plasma fire streaked past as they plunged into the nebula. Shields failing. Elias shouted. Lysera placed her hand over the console. Her skin glowed, merging with the controls. The ship surged forward, faster than it should have been possible. What are you doing? Giving them what's left of my strength, she said. We have to reach the outer edge.